For those of you who don't know me, my name is Erica. Thank you for watching. I'm hoping by you watching this, you'll get a sense of peace, hope, and joy. We are living in a crazy time right now, and if you're like me, you're sensing a little bit of fear, and you're trying to combat that on a daily basis, which is hard when you have the media and all the messages that are telling you to live in a time of fear. But I'm telling you, this is a time of greatness. You just have to refocus on what is good. You know what I've noticed during this time is that we're all getting back to the basics. So I'm titling this, Getting Back to the Basics. But really, it's been interesting as I've gone grocery shopping to see what people are picking off the shelves. So normally when I go grocery shopping, I tend to go for more of the exotic fruits and the special spiced flavored meats and all the exciting foods that we have at our fingertips that I've just been so used to and been drawn to. But it's interesting to me as I've gone shopping in the past week or so to see that those types of foods are still on the shelves. But what isn't on the shelf and is completely gone are the basics. I'm talking about the bananas, the onions, the potatoes, the frozen vegetables, the canned goods, eggs, milk, all the basics that you just don't think about now. You pick them up if they're staples in your household or if you need them for a recipe, but they're not things that are always an absolute must on your list. And now it's an absolute necessary means. So it's been really interesting to see how people have refocused what they thought they needed or what they do need now when they have to get back to the basics and back to the simplicity of life. Which simplicity, that thought of simplicity brings me to the point of my husband and I have chose this year to focus on one word and one Bible verse. It's something that we started out that was new this year, and we're hoping to continue in the years ahead. But it's interesting because God really prepared our hearts this year, because the one word that we chose this year was simplicity. And the verse that we chose that we thought tied in really, really well with the concept of simplicity was Matthew 6:21, which says, "Wherever your treasure is, your heart is also." So what we've been focusing on this year is, where is our heart? Or where's our treasure? Because that's where our heart is. So we've been focusing on that this year, the word of simplicity and our heart and our treasure. And it's been so interesting that that's where the world is going right now, is back to simplicity and back to figuring out, like, what do we treasure? What do we really treasure? And what we're finding is what we treasure are the basics. And the basics are those basic foods. The basics are getting back to the family. The basics are being able to understand that when you slim down that calendar, how that makes you feel. So really my hope for you during this time is to be able to have a refocus and a reimagine the way your world can be during this crazy time. Instead of looking at it fearfully, look at it as if it's an opportunity to learn and grow and refocus on the things that really matter, that really, really matter in your life. So you don't have to focus on the after school sports, getting to and fro and how to quickly feed your family. You don't have to focus on those professional events that you may have needed for networking, because no one can meet over 250 right now. You're forced to be at home with your family, but really, what an awesome opportunity to be able to recenter yourselves and recenter your family and get back to what really matters. So during this time, I really encourage you to, one, refocus on the family, get to know your family during this time. Just really come back to what really matters. Have those dinners, have those conversations that you're missing between the in-between of all the activities that you've been focusing on. And 2, this is your opportunity to refocus that calendar. This is your opportunity to re-examine your calendar and see what works for you and doesn't work for you anymore. Are there things that you've been wanting to say no to that you can now have the opportunity to say no to, or at least the opportunity to reevaluate it to see if it benefits you and your family? And also, are there things that you want to double down on? Are there things that you've been dabbling in a little bit that you really have a passion for it and you really want to go after it? This is the time to do it. While you're sitting around with your family, or while you have this precious quiet time that you didn't have before, what better time than now to go after something that you've had a dream about? No better time than this. So really, I hope that you have a sense of peace and a sense of joy and a sense of hope from this message, because there's so much opportunity with this craziness that's going on. There's opportunity for you to really hone in on what matters. So really remember, wherever your treasure is, your heart is also. So take this time to focus on what is your treasure and focus on where you want your heart to be. I'm super excited for you to be able to have this time to refocus on the things that matter. I know that whatever comes is going to be awesome. So please do share what opportunities come your way. I'd love to hear what you got out of this message. And I'll share how my family has been refocusing and simplifying our lives, and how we can take this moment of fear and turn it into something beautiful.